Hello everyone. I hope you all are safe and fine. After term 1 exams, I welcome you back once again in English video. I hope you all have done your exams very well. So let's begin our new chapter for new term. That is for your term 2nd. So today I'm going to take the literature part, and in this literature part I'm going to start unit 5, and the first chapter is a poem, and the poem name is The Lazy Frog. Okay, so let's begin. The Lazy Frog. On a school day, you are busy studying, playing and chatting with friends. When you have a holiday from school, what do? Would you behave a little like the frog in the following poem? Now, this poem is a poem about a frog who is very lazy. His name is Fred. So, as introduction part, the poet is asking that on a school day you are very busy, right? That like you are studying, you're playing, you're chatting with your friends. But when it's holiday, like Sunday or any other holiday, what you do? What you do all day long? So let's see what does this Fred do when he is at home and he has nothing to do. All right. So let's begin with the poem. Fred is a very lazy frog who lolls all day upon a log. He always manages to shirk doing a single stroke of work. Now, let me explain you these 4 lines first. Now, there is a frog whose name is Fred, and he is very lazy. How can we say this? We can say with the second line, who lolls all day upon a log. Now, lol means to lie around lazily doing nothing. All right. So, he is lying all day upon a log. Log is a piece of wood, piece of a tree that is cut. Okay, so he is lying on that log all day long, and he always manages to shirk. Manages means he has skills to how to escape from the work, daily work. Shirk means to escape from the things you have to do but you don't do. All right, so he manages to shirk. He has skills to escape from the work which he has to do, which he should do. All right, doing a single stroke of work. So he does not do anything. He all the day he is lying on that log, and he does not do a single task. His poor old mother calls in vain, come in and help. He does not bother to move 2 inches, much preferring to be extremely hard of hearing. Now, next line says that his poor old mother, Fred's mother is very old, and she calls him for his help. But the result is 0. She calls her son Fred for her help. All right, for the daily household work, she needs her son's help, but he does not do anything. He does not help his mother, and it is a wastage of time calling him. All right, so he does not bother means he does not care if his mother is calling. He does not care bother at all. He does not cares at all that his mother wants any help or anything, and he does not move 2 inches, not a bit. He moves not a bit, much preferring to be extremely hard of hearing. Preferring means when you have choice, and the thing you choose, the thing you prefer means the thing you choose, or the thing which you would like to do first. All right, so it means prefer those things which you like the most, which you will choose to do first. It means that you prefer that thing. Okay, so what does he prefer? He prefers doing nothing and to be extremely hard of hearing. Extremely means in great extent. All right, and this phrase hard of hearing means that uh, he behaves like a deaf. All right, So he behaves like he does not hear anything. He lies there in a silent heap and stays conveniently asleep. Now, where does he lie? He lies uh, very conveniently. Conveniently means very easily. He is lying on a silent heap, like you have seen a heap of sand, or you have seen a heap of stones, or heap of anything which is still, which does not moves at all. So he also stays still like a silent heap on that log, and he just sleeps all day long. If a lady frog hops past, you'd think he would get up at last to bow and help her on her way. Now, there is a situation, there is a condition, that to judge that how much lazy he is. All right, the poet has given a situation here that if you think, just imagine if a lady frog is passing by, can you think or can you imagine that he will get up and help her? He will get up and bow her. Bow means to bend in front of somebody to give respect. All right, so here it is shown that whenever a lady passes through or passes whenever a lady passes by or from in front of you, you should bow to give her respect. So can you think that if a lady frog hops past in front of him, he would get up, he would bow to give respect to her and help her on his way? But no, I am ashamed to say that when a lady frog comes by, he does not open up one eye. But it is very shameful to say that he was so lazy that he would never ever get up and uh, just uh, forget about getting up. He will not open up his one eye. So he was very, very, very lazy. All right, so this was a poem, and it is written, the here it is written anonymous. It means that the poet is unknown. We don't know that who has written this poem. All right, so basically this poem is based upon a frog who is very lazy, and there are certain situations that tells us that how much lazy he is. The first is that when his mother calls him, all right, for her help, and she's very old, she's very old, and she needs her son's help, but then also he does not help his mother. All right, the first condition is this, and the second is then that a lady frog when passes in front of him, then also he does not open up his eye. So in these two situations, in these two conditions, we can say, by looking at these two conditions and situations, we can say that this frog was very, very, very lazy. All right, so I hope you have understood this poem, and I don't think so that there is any child who is lazy like this frog. Yes, is there any child who is lazy like this frog? No? Very good. So we should not be lazy. We should do our work on time. We should help our parents at home. And also we should always be ready to help anyone who needs help. Alright. So now let's take the exercises. Alright. Now children, this is your worksheet number 39. And why don't you read the instructions before you do your work? Before you start your work, why I have written these instructions on the first page? I don't know why don't you read the instructions. Children, always read the instructions first. I know that the same instruction is written in the worksheets every time, but you should read the instructions, because here it is written this is a non-submission worksheet, and still you are submitting this worksheet. Why? Till now you have been told that one worksheet will be submitted and another one will be not. So why you don't read the instructions? If you have any confusion, your confusion will be cleared after reading these instructions. So read the instruction that you have to submit this worksheet or not, or any other thing, any other new thing you have to do in this worksheet. Then after that you just think that you are just confused at what you have to do and what you don't have to do. So in the last worksheet, that was your non-submission worksheet, and most of you have submitted it. All right, so please read the instructions every time you start doing your new worksheet. All right, now let's take the explanation of the exercises. This worksheet is your non-submission worksheet and you will not submit it. Is it clear, all of you? Good. Now, as you have done your work previously, you will write the worksheet number, or you can do one thing that from the new page you can write term 2, all right, and then leave one page, write term 2 on the middle of the page, all right, in bold letters, and then from the next page you can start doing your worksheet number 39. So here you will write worksheet number 39 as I have written here. You will put the date, day, unit name, unit number, the chapter, or this is the poem, so you will write the poem name, all right, and if the writer is given, you will write the writer name or the poet name. So here in this poem, The Lazy Frog, we don't know who is the writer, who is the poet. It's anonymous, so we will leave it. Okay, so we will start with the word meaning first. These word meanings are given at the back of your book also. Now, first word is lol. It means to lie around lazily. Second is log, trunk of a tree that has been cut. It is a part of a tree that has been cut and it is in a cylindrical shape. All right, it's a cylindrical shape. You can see that round part. All right. Plank is also a piece of wood. Okay, it is also a piece of wood that has been cut from a tree, but it is flat, but the log is in cylindrical shape. All right, so next is shirk. Shirk means to not do something you should do. It means that to run away or to escape from the things you should do. Okay, in another words, I have explained you this. In vain means uselessly. In vain means uselessly means to show no result. Like his mother, the frog's mother, used to call her son. All right, used to call her son for the help, but it was useless calling him because he never listened to her mother. All right. Next is prefer. Prefer means like something better. Okay, if when you are having choices of something, or when you are having choices to make, to have something or to get something, the thing you will prefer will be the thing you like the most. Okay. Sixth, hard of hearing. Hard of hearing means deaf. Hard of hearing means to pretend to be deaf. Deaf means, you all know, I hope you all know that deaf means the person who cannot hear, who cannot listen, who is unable to listen. Next is bow. Bow means to bend your head in front of anyone or someone to show your respect. All right, like whenever we say good morning to teachers, we should say good morning, and if we bow a little, it looks much better, and it is good to bow when you say good morning or when you greet anybody. Okay, so now here there are question and answers. I will read the question first, then I will write the answer. So get ready to write your answers together with me. Okay, I'll dictate it also and you will also write. Now the first question is, what did the frog do all day? क्या करता था frog पूरा दिन? The answer is the frog. Write down, children. The frog lolls all day upon a log. The frog lolls all day upon a log. Next is, besides lazy, what other word you can think of to describe the frog? Now you all know that describing words are known as adjectives. All those words which describe a noun are known as adjectives. So here basically lazy is a adjective. Lazy is an adjective which is describing the noun frog. Okay, lazy frog. Frog is a noun and the lazy word is describing the frog, that what kind of frog he is. He is lazy. So in this question it is asked that you can write any other word which you think that can describe this frog. You have read the poem, you have understood the poem, and now you can write or you can think of any other words beside than lazy. Okay, other than lazy word, you can think of other words which can describe this lazy frog or this frog Fred. So I will write my own words. If you have a different kind of thinking about that frog, you can write your own words also. Okay, so according to me, I will write, besides lazy, we can say that the frog was ill-mannered, disobedient, escaped from the work, and had rude attitude. Okay, now this is the answer for your question number 2. Now, did you like frog's behavior? The answer, my answer would be no. Okay, it will be no. And the next question in the second part of this question is why. Why you did not like the frog's behavior? If your answer is no, why you did not like the frog's behavior? And if your answer is yes, then you have to give reason why you like the frog's behavior. So my answer is no, so I will write the answer in negative sentence. Okay, so no, I did not like frog's behavior because he was very lazy and was ill-mannered. He also was disobedient, who did not help his mother. You can say old mother. Okay. So I'm going to read the answer again. No, I did not like Frog's behavior because he was very lazy and was ill-mannered. He also was disobedient, who did not help his old mother. Now, next question is not from a book. It's reference to context, as I always give you. Okay, so here I have taken few lines from this poem and made some questions on those lines, and you have to answer those questions. So let's read the lines, or stanza we can say. His poor mother calls in vain, come and help. He does not bother to move 2 inches, much preferring to be extremely hard of hearing. Now, these are the 4 lines I have taken from your poem. The question based on this stanza or on these lines. First question is, to whom does the poet refers his in this given lines? This question means that the poet is referring to whom? Who is his in this given lines? Now here, his poor mother. Who is his in this given lines, or who is his, about whom the poet is talking? So his is the lazy frog Fred. So the answer will be the poet refers to the lazy frog Fred. Okay, lazy frog Fred in the given lines. Next question based on that stanza or those lines is, give the meaning of bother and preferring. So the answer will be, the meaning of bother is care. Okay. Second word was preferring. Sorry. ERRING, preferring. It means to make choice that you like better. Okay. Next question is, what does the phrase hard of hearing mean? Now here in the given lines, there is a phrase hard of hearing. So when I was explaining you the poem, I have told you the meaning of this phrase hard of hearing. It means to pretend to be deaf. Okay, so hard of hearing means deaf. Okay, or you can say, right, you can also write unable to listen. Okay, now next stanza or the lines I've taken is, if a lady frog hops past, you'd think he would get up at last to bow and help her on her way. But no, I am ashamed to say that when a lady frog comes by, he does not open up one eye. The question based on these lines, the first question is, why a poet says that he is ashamed? Why does he say this? Write the answer. The poet says that he is ashamed. ASHAMED, ashamed, because of the frog who was so lazy, who did not get up to bow and to help a lady frog. Okay, I'm repeating the answer. The poet says that he is ashamed because of the frog who was so lazy, who did not get up to bow and to help a lady frog. Okay, the last question is, give an example of the given lines which shows the frog was too lazy. Now you have to take the example from only this given lines. Now children, in the exam also, I have given reference to context. Okay, some lines were given to you from the book, from the poem also, and from your chapters also, the story part also, that is known as prose, and this is poem, and the story part is known as prose. Okay, so there were reference to context from prose also and poetry also. So whenever the questions are asked on the basis of reference to context, you have to answer from the context given. Okay, you cannot, if any example has been asked from the given lines, you will only give the example that has been given, or you can find out from that those given lines. Okay, you will not go or you cannot give the examples, or you cannot take the answers from rest of the chapter. Okay, so you have to stick to those given lines only. You have to answer from those given lines only. Okay, because the questions are based on that particular given lines. Okay, so try and write or find out the answers from the given context. Okay, so here also it is asking for an example. Okay, in this question asking an example that shows that frog was very lazy or too lazy. So in the, if we see the whole poem, there are two examples. All right, moreover there are two examples which shows that frog was very lazy. First was that he did not get up to help his mother. Okay, his old mother who was very old and who needed his help. The first example is this. You can say that he is very lazy. The second example was that he did not get up to bow and help a lady frog when she passed by. Okay, so when an example has been asked in the question, you will read the lines or the stanza which has been given to you for reference to context. So whatever example which has given to you in that those particular lines, you will give only that example in your answer. Okay, you will not go to the other part of your poetry or chapter. So here what example has been given which shows that the frog was too lazy? Let's see. If a lady frog hops past, you'd think he would get up at last. It means that the second example has been given in this stanza. So you will write only that example in this answer. Okay, so let's start writing. We can say that the frog was too lazy as he did not get up to bow and help a lady frog. Okay, so this was your example which has been given to you in the given stanza, or you can say in the given context. Okay, now this was your exercises which you will do in your notebooks. Now there are certain questions left in your book also, so we are going to do those also, but those questions you will not do or you will not copy in your notebooks. You will just do these question answers in your book. Which question answers which I am going to do in book, you will also do those question and answers or exercises in your book only. You will not copy the exercises from the book to your copy. Is that clear? So the first exercise is on your page number 80 of your book, Marigold book, and the first question we have done in your worksheet. Second question also we have done in your worksheet. The third question is complete the sentences with reference to the poem. Okay, reference to the context. When it is context, it means certain sentences or some lines are taken from your poem or your chapter. So here you have to answer the question with reference to the whole poem. Okay, you have to look at the whole poem and then answer these questions, because it is mentioned here to answer the questions with reference to the poem. The poem means the all part of the poem or your chapter if it is said chapter. Context means only that part which has been given to you. Okay. Now, the first is, when the frog's mother called him, he pretended to. Now, when his mother called him for help, what uh, what kind he pretended to be? Okay, pretend means to act. Okay, so how did he act? He acted to be deaf. Okay, because he lie down lazily, his eyes closed, and he pretended to be sleeping. He was all the time sleeping. And also, when his mother called him, he never listened to his mother, as he could not hear her. Okay, so as he was not able to hear her. Okay, so we will write, when the frog's mother called him, he pretended to be deaf. DEAF, deaf. Okay. Next is second, when a lady frog hops by, he does not even. Now, what does he do when a lady frog hops by? What does he does not even? Open up one eye. Okay. So these two questions, or you can say this question third, which is on your page number 80, you will not copy this question in your notebook. You will do this question in this book only. Okay. So now children, on the next page 81, there are certain questions which you can do on your own, because it is self activity kind of questions also. So let me explain you. Okay, so you will do in your book only. Refer to the poem and understand. Now it means that you have to again refer to the poem, you have to go to the poem, and you have to understand. The frog loved to laze and lie around all day. He did not like to do any work at all. Okay, what two things he loved to do? He loved to laze and he loved to lie around all day without doing anything. Okay, the second thing was that he did not like to do anything. He did not like to work at all, any work. Now make two sentences about yourself. Now this is your personal answering questions. So you will answer according to your personality. Okay, according to you. You will not hear in these questions which are given here. You will not answer according to the Fred or frog. These questions are based on you. Okay, so you will write like whatever you do or whatever you don't like to do, but be very honest. Okay, so now try true sentences about yourself. Write about the people you like, a game you play, a hobby, a habit you have. You may use these following clues. Now what things you have to add in these lines? Write about the people you like. Okay, first thing, you can write about the people you like the most, the game you play or you like the most, or whatever game you like, you can write that game name. You can write your hobby, or you can write any habit of yours. Okay, so here the answers are here the sentences are, I love. You can write any person name also, like I love my mother, I love my father, I love my sister, brother, whatever. I like to, you like to play any game, you can write. I like to watch movies, you can write your hobby here. You can write your habit here. Okay, I don't mind. What you don't mind, it means that what you don't bother about, what you don't care about. Don't mind means what you don't care about. Okay, again here I don't like, there are I don't like, what you don't like, you can write here that thing. I hate, what you hate the most or what you hate doing or not doing, you can write here. Okay, so this exercise also you will do in your books only. You need not to copy down this work in your notebooks. So I hope you have understood this poem. Read the poem once, twice, thrice, as many times as you can read. It will develop your reading skills also. And children, while you are reading literature, whether it is your poem or whether it is your prose part, just be careful about your intonations. Okay, intonations means the rise and fall of your rise and fall of your voice, okay, or rise and fall of your words which you read. So I am reading this poem once again. You can see, or you can see carefully how I'm reading and where I'm raising my voice and where I'm getting my tone low. Okay, so let's start. Fred is a very lazy frog who lolls all day upon a log. He always manages to shirk doing a single stroke of work. His poor old mother calls in vain. Come in and help. He does not bother to move 2 inches, much preferring to be extremely hard of hearing. He lies there in a silent heap and stays conveniently asleep. If a lady frog hops past, you'd think he would get up at last to bow and help her on her way. But no, I am ashamed to say that when a lady frog comes by, he does not open up one eye. So here you can see, have you noticed where in some words I have raised my volume, or you can say I have raised my tone of that word, and in some words I have uh, brought down my tone low. So you have to uh, be very careful about the rise and fall of your reading, or you can say the rise and fall of your tone while reading your prose part also and poem part also. Okay, so children, till the next video, stay home, stay safe, and thank you.